Okay, hey everyone, so we're going to try again. I am interviewing CBM Signs, Bernard from CBM Signs, and we're just going to check if he can come live with me. We actually had to update the app, so I'm just waiting for him to come along. I might just add him here. I think that might be it. So we're just waiting on him to come in. I think that should be fine. So basically, social media 101, things can go wrong, but that's okay. If the other person doesn't have their app updated, they can't get on. Hey,
Hello,
how's it going?
not so bad.
So I keep noticing as well, every time I do these, you can only see like here down for me. So I'm going to try and move back a little bit so you can see my full face, but you'll be fine. So we're here. You're okay.
How you getting on?
Better?
Yeah.
Ready to go? Good. Okay, great. So we have Bernard from CBM Signs. As I was saying, I interview entrepreneurs, people in business. To hopefully you can learn from them and what struggles they've been through, all that good stuff. So Bernard, I'm just going to run through the questions with you. Tell us what you do in 60 seconds or so.
CBM Signs, sign company. We operate all over Ireland and the UK. A couple of different parts of the business. We do signs, all shop signs, floor signs, internal signs, wall graphics. Another big part of that's all vehicle graphics. Then we do all vans for companies, lorries, buses, planes, boats. What else do we do? Another large part's online then. With 50% of our business is all online sales. So we have an online shop, cbmsigns.ie. And number plates, safety signs, all small stuff, but it's all good sales. It's all adds up.
Very good. Great. So I think you said to me one time you print everything but cash. So that's pretty much you guys. I think the internet connection is just a little bit bad on your side, Bernard. Maybe it's your side, maybe it's my side. Technology is not our friend today. You still with me? Bernard? Okay, I'm gonna just do something here that might help. You still there, Bernard? No, he's gone. Just gonna try and get him back on there. We might have to not do this one today. I don't know what it is, but there seems to be some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Hey,
How are you
are
getting
we
on?
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know what happened there.
Back on. So what I was saying is you print everything but cash, I think is what you said to me one time.
Yeah. We tried it and didn't work too well.
Let me know when you perfect that one. Outside of like CBM, what would you say like your friends, apart from, when we used to go to the pub to crack, but what else would you be known for?
Ah, motor, I suppose cars, one of my cars always was. Snooker, follow snooker there. I'll be back into the snooker, and then I'd be known for my political views there from time to time and stuff like that.
Might steer away from you today.
Yeah. But no, I'd be kind of motorsport and cars and rally cars and F1, but all that kind of stuff. Do a bit of farming too, from a farming background, so bit of farming, but you see me doing anything. You can see my
Yeah,
snaps to be anywhere at all doing anything.
that's it. And you do the rally cards as well, obviously.
Yeah, it's a
You,
big part of the business. Well, it was a big part of the business. COVID came, so I've just cancelled it and probably going to cancel it this year too. But
that's what I was
yeah.
going to say. Not going ahead, no.
No, we're not. Well, no, not any rallying in Ireland. We're actually doing a car today. It's been done in America. We're doing the stuff here
Right.
and shipping it to America this evening.
Amazing.
For a customer in New York. So they're rallying in America. The championship's going ahead, and we'll probably have cars doing the European Championship starting in March. So some of the customers moved to Spain. One of the biggest customers is moving out and doing the ERC Championship, the European Rally Championship. So there'll be some of the cars out there.
So, like, obviously, you have clients from Donegal to America to Spain. Like, how
Yeah.
did you, and you're doing all that wide range of stuff, how did you grow the business from what it was at the start to this?
Well, I suppose we started 2007, small scale. Left college. Didn't get my final year in college. Done a lot that year. Went for student president. Had my final exams. Went. There was a lot of other stuff happening. Didn't work out. So I was to go to Australia that year, and then the people I was going with couldn't go early in the summer. They hadn't the money. They had to work the summer, and I started the Signs. And by the time the summer came around, it was going well. It was 07, the height of the boom. The business was going nice. Then 08 came, and everything crashed down around it. But it was only a two-man team that time, so it wasn't too bad. Weathered the storm, and then so social media took on. Then websites, like we would have been into the websites early. We probably had a website going since the first day, 07. The email would have been a big part of it. So we're kind of ahead of the curve maybe in some parts of that there. So the social media and internet makes the world very small. You've customers picking up, but like Australia, that customer in America is Irish. Mayo have a couple of customers dotted all around the world. Australia, send a lot of stuff to Australia, but it's all people you already knew, people, a lot of Irish. So it was websites and social media and just being out there and putting your work out there. Let the work do the talking and build your reputation. We're 10 years, we're sure, 07, or 15 years in the go now, so
So the biggest thing I'm here, and I'm actually going to do a video on this week, like people are saying to me, oh, I don't understand why I'm not getting more sales. And I'm like, well, how long are you doing it? And they're like, a month or 6 months. And they're like, I'm a week on social media. And I'm like, I'm literally doing this for 8 years.
yeah.
And, you have to keep, like, it's a long
small
term
jobs, you have to do the small jobs first before you get the big jobs. Like a lot of times we started, a lot of business customers come to me, maybe just looking for a fire sign or a CCTV sign, and they see you doing this, and they're keeping an eye then to see what jobs you're doing, who you're doing them for, and you may do a van for them then, and then they might have a big job coming up them, or refit of a pub. Like we do a lot of interiors was a big thing that's starting, so like we would have done there last year in 07, got the new with Mason interior designers. Claire and Anne, like we would have done wrapped all the walls and all the worktops. Like that's a big,
that's something different and like
interesting
as well.
We do bad, something you wouldn't necessarily think of a sign company doing. We do a lot of glass, a lot of frosted glass and glass decorative and office buildings and stuff. That takes building up reputations. Builders need to know kind of like our old days in B&I. You need to know who you're dealing with and like and trust them. You build up them relationships to get the big money contracts.
Yeah.
But sometimes smaller, bigger's not always better. Bigger jobs, bigger headaches, and bigger risk, and bigger money. Sometimes people get carried away with that there. It's not all about the big jobs. You need to get paid. You can be a busy fool very quick.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I've found.
So it's kind of like taking the small jobs, building it up, knowing that it takes time, and making sure you're making money doing it.
Yeah, there's no overnight success stories. I suppose like the guys who watched the OnlyFans guy the last night in Claire Burns show, there's very few of them stories and the last. Like you hear all these success stories, but when you dive into them and who's behind them and where they started from, there's often another story to be told. So there's very few get rich schemes now. We're looking for them, and there's a lot more people looking for them, and we haven't found them yet, Emma.
Definitely not. Let me know when you do. I'll let you know when I do.
That's it.
So just speaking about being I suppose for those of you who don't know, Bernard and I know each other for a long time from like just days of partying back.
Better not start
thinking about business, but then we grew up and started our own businesses, and quite separately. You're 2007. What was I? 2013, I think. So, but we always kind of connected, and we both joined a business or a networking group called BNI, and I think even that taught me, not even the BNI side of it, but that taught me the importance of like business relationships. So, I still do business with people in that group. I still speak to people in that group because we built up such a good rapport. So, has that been big for your business? Your relationship with people?
It's building relationships, especially in Donegal, where the work's not that plentiful. You need to build up relationships with your customers. Like I have the same customers now for 10, 15 years. Like their green shoes, Alfie Green was one of my first customers back in 2007, and I'm doing a job for Maria now. Today we're still doing stuff for green shoes, and they've grew too, like all over the country and Galway and online. A lot of John Watson was another customer, Watson Hire there, and like we do all the stuff for John, have done for years, and you'll pull them out of the hole when they're stuck, when they need something done, and vice versa. If you're under a bit of pressure, you need to build up a relationship to get the work. And there's no point being too smart in business. For you only be smart with somebody once. There's no. Some people come into business and I see them and they're going to take over the world and they're going to do this and they're going to do that at the start. And it's a long road. It's a long.
Yeah.
There's so it is. You're not going to. You'll not take over the world in a week. Put it that way.
Yeah.
More, kind of like you were saying earlier. It takes time to build.
Definitely. So over time, I suppose, as you're growing it, you're going to get setbacks and things are going to happen. How do you kind of keep going when something pushes you back?
Where do you want to start? The recession or COVID?
Or anything in between, you know? But like what, well, I suppose with recession,
Anything in between.
There was two of you, so it wasn't too bad. But like, I'm sure there was times where you were like, oh God, what are we going to do?
Well, COVID was scary last March. Like, we locked the door last March, St. Patrick's weekend, one of the traditional busiest weekends of the year. And like, you had to tell the guys they were going home, and they didn't know when they're coming back. And you didn't know what to say to them. And like, I have different staff. I have married staff, and I have young staff, and I have staff with kids, and all different. Everybody has everybody's their own worries in life at different stages. And like, we closed the door that day. That was scary. Now that was one of the scariest days. But then how at home, and you can sit and be in bad form and get very annoyed of these things. You can do something about it. We started looking around and there was COVID stuff needed and there was notices needed and the phone started ringing again because there were certain businesses had to stay open. A couple of construction companies we do work for got a pile of HSE contracts. I was fortunate enough then last year turned out we lost a lot of our usual work. A lot of our retail customers were closed, hotels, a lot of the bread and butter stuff that you do year in, year out, but it was replaced with COVID work. So we finished the year okay. And it wasn't one of the best years, but it wasn't one of the worst years either. So
yeah,
we're back here now again. We'll have all the guys back working, even at level 5 this year. We grew the online business. You just have to shake yourself off and get out. Like, or have 2-3 kids there at the house now and a wife, and you have to get up every morning and put on a good face for them as much as anything. You get out, and that's you just have to shake. You have your good days and bad days. I think everybody only sees the good days, especially social media and stuff, all the TikToks and Instagrams. You only see the good side of things. Nobody really sees the stuff that's going wrong, and nobody wants to show that stuff. Nobody wants to see it, but everybody's their good days and their bad days.
Yeah, I think, we don't really want, I know people say to me, when I'm doing Happy Friday, like, do you ever have a crap Friday? Like, tell us about that, but what's the point in me going on there and saying, geez, today was terrible? I think people want to hear, yes, it was terrible, but here's how I overcame it or whatever. So that's the stories you hear, but it can be easy to forget that, like, it's not all Happy Fridays. Like, there's Fridays where I was going, oh shit, what am I going to do?
Well, so, there's a lot of Fridays and you're looking at the bank account and seeing how you're going to pay the wages and pay bills and stuff. There's a lot of them, and especially in the recession, like, where a lot of good customers lost and a lot of bills was left unpaid. There was a lot of tough days in 08, 09, 010. All to their own got mixed up and stuff, and are you still there? A lot of them, you had to start building again and trust and work with them, and you get through them days, and there's enough doom and gloom. You just have to shake yourself one day at a time. That's the way I look at things, one day at a time, and what's for you will not pass you.
Yeah, definitely. You can't overthink it.
No, if you do, you'll get nothing done. You have to go and put yourself out there. Kind of like B&I, sure. B&I was based on the other side of the county from me and Emma. Usually work and different clients, and you had to spread your wings. Like, we started doing work in 09, 010 in Dublin. And I remember the first day I said to the guys, we're going to Dublin. Oh, Jesus, Dublin, that's way far away. Sure, we're going to Dublin every week since. Belfast, we done a lot of work in the Titanic Museum in Belfast, and for the top shops there. It's sad to see they closed. They're a victim of the COVID and the recession. Their top shop closed. Like, we used to be doing one job every week for a top shop all over, everywhere from Cork, Dublin, Belfast, all their flagship stores. Now that's scary when you see the XM shops closing and they were the big players. It's I don't think you ever have it made. I don't think you'll ever come to a point where you have it sussed. Things can change. If you had said 2 or 3 years ago Topshop would be closed, you'd have been laughed at. So I
think it's constantly you changing with Topshop. It was very much like, you know, there's loads of online things now. Maybe they were a bit expensive for what they were doing. Maybe they weren't pivoting. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, what was their rate for sending stuff out? I don't know, but
You're probably more up
it's
to date with Topshop's business model than I was, Emma. There wasn't much stuff in Topshop.
well, yeah. So
But
yeah,
the work was good, and it was there. You know, it was your different shopping centres, and you became a national company.
yeah.
And I suppose that started off with one job, a small job in Donegal town one day, and led to that contract, and that was a massive contract for us for a couple of years. So there's
Yeah,
different things went on.
yeah.
Um,
So, you know, there's lots of people around like that. I suppose the people like Topshop you might look at and say, wow, they're doing great or whatever. But who would you say, and it doesn't have to be someone like that, it could be your next door neighbor, but who inspires you, would you say, and why?
um, Geez, that's a good question. Michael O'Leary, the Ryanair,
Yeah.
he's just blunt. He's just what you see is what you get. He goes and does it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, there's other locals like John Watson there and Watson Hire at the place, and Leonard as well. The two brothers at the place is burned to the ground, and they shook themselves. And I've dealt with both of them, and they hadn't a bad word or a bad day. They just shook themselves and got on
Yeah.
with it. And that shows great
I
courage
literally
because
I just realized that that happened to both of
that
them.
happened to both of them. And
Yeah,
it
I
was,
just realized that.
Leonard was a very new business at the time.
Yeah.
John had 20 staff looking at him today, like where the whole that Friday evening. I'm sure the whole town was the looking at it. It's the 20 staff that evening looking at him, going, "What are we going to do?" So,
Yeah.
it takes. I suppose if you ask John, John will say he had no other choice just to get on with it. My phone's ringing here. That's why we're getting cut off. That's what's wrong, Emma. It takes courage. You just have to get up and get on with it, like every day
Yeah.
as it comes.
Yeah, I think that's the one. It's not overthinking it, get it up and getting on with it, and not thinking about like the worst, kind of going, right, well, what can I do? Like, how can I move forward? Does that make sense? You mentioned to me one time a guy called, I think, Patrick Crook, was it? From Waterford?
Patrick Croak
Yeah, Crook.
Patrick, whack on tour. It'll be coming soon. You'll see it now on social media.
Okay.
Patrick's a guy in a wheelchair, and he's friends with Craig Breeden, the world rally driver. And Patrick went away like a wheelchair user, and he got himself a rally car, and he does a few rallies around the country. Like that's inspirational.
Amazing.
Like that's taking somebody really out of the comfort zone and pushing because he's an interest in it. And hey,
Yeah.
Patrick might be listening, or he might be logged in, and he'll see it later on. And we think we do. There's some great people, inspirational people that I find the people makes less of a fuss of the people that need admired the most. They make no big deal about it. There's people all kinds of complications, and we see it as complications. They just see it as a challenge to overcome. Like Nikki Bradley there. Nikki's out with us, and she's going through an awful amount of stuff, and she's fresh faced every day, positive as you could be, like climbing mountains.
Yeah.
She has her ailments, and there, sure, I would climb an Errigal. I wouldn't even do that. And she is away climbing it twice a day. Sure.
I know.
So
And I think we ran a thing in JCI, another thing. We were part of Junior Chamber, but it was can't even remember what awards it was, but there was a guy there called, and I'm going to forget his name now, and I know him well. He's from the town, and so annoying. But he has a business there, and oh my God, it's like healthy wheatgrass. What is wrong with me? And he's going to watch this.
Derek Walker.
Yes, Derek Walker. And I think it was him that said it to me now, probably wrong, but he said, like, disability, we should focus on the ability rather than the disability, so what can you do rather than the disability of it, like the ability. So I think that's what people like Nikki and Derek both do, they focus on what they can do and then they go and do it better than people who couldn't do it in the first place,
Because you have to appreciate what you have. It's very easy looking at life going the glass is half empty. You have to look at it as half full as well.
Yeah.
I'm married there. I have 3 great children, a good family. They're all healthy. They struggled through COVID pandemic. Some of the wider family had it. They survived it. Some neighbours were lost. Some very good neighbours passed away due to COVID, and their families are left behind. And you have to, it's tough on them, but it's tough. It's been a tough year. It's been a tough 2 years. This year is going to be tougher, I think, than last year, because we've nothing. Last year was stuff with cancellations to look forward to, if nothing else. This year we have nothing. Like all them,
And I think even like if you talk about Topshop as well, it's not just Topshop, it's the how many staff and then how many suppliers like yourself and then how many, shopping centers and how many of their families are affected and then, and that's just one business.
Yeah.
you know, so
Business owners in the hospitality trade, like put in massive hours, pub owners and restaurant owners and hotel owners, like, and they're sitting at the house now and seeing
yeah,
nobody. It has to be a shock for them, to a bit of adjustment for them. It's, you know, sitting on 350 a week, compared with the
hmm
big hours and big lifestyles, and it has to be, you know, COVID's caught a lot of people by surprise. If you had said this time
yeah,
last year X, Y, and Z would be closed for the best part of 6 to 12 months, you would have laughed at them, and here
I
we are.
know, crazy.
Working on
But
it.
again, you kind of just have to get up and try and get on with it as best you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know, we can know all this and all that stuff, but we can still make the mistakes of the day. What would you say are some of the mistakes that you wish you had avoided? Like if someone has said to you at the start, do this, what would you have wanted them to say?
I should have went to Australia for the year first before I started. That was one of the things we should have done, because we never got the chance since. I don't know. You need to make mistakes. It's easier to know when you made a mistake and get on with it. Some people get, like, you see some people starting things there and doing things, and they know they're doing it wrong, but they keep going and going to get themselves in trouble. It's knowing when to stop and when, so it's big enough to admit it that you made a mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's.
You mentioned to me about something about an accountant one time.
Well, I done business. That's what I done in college. I done business and accountancy at college, and I didn't get my final exams. Like, I could have been an accountant sitting in a nice office. I didn't choose that. I could have went back and repeated my exams. Just the signs was something I like doing. It was different businesses. You're dealing with different people and different types of businesses. So
Yeah.
my background before I started was. Granny and Grandos at Jewellers in the Port Road, Mc Callions across from the grill, and I would have grew up, as the customers used to tell me, I used to be sitting on the baby seat. That's how long ago I was there as part of the furniture.
Mhm.
So, you know, I grew up with that there kind of high-end retail experience behind me, and I had all the families in business. I have aunties and uncles that had computer shops, auntie and uncles had estate agents and jewellers, so we had a good variation of different types of businesses and how they worked, and that's something that just I enjoy, different types of businesses, seeing. There's nothing better than somebody coming in and starting a new business and seeing it succeed. You know, seeing them getting on good and working from day one. Them all coming in with their anxiety and fear of starting a new business. Like, everybody, is it going to work, and what I have to do, and this isn't working, that's working, and what about my logos and what colours, and all the usual questions you get. You know, yourself, people come to you to see them, and it's great to see them in when they're going, and there's people queued out coming to see them. So it is. It's nice to see that. So
Definitely.
it works, and you know, you played your part. I get satisfaction when I played my part to make that happen for them.
Yeah.
So,
And I think a big part of it, like if I ever see anyone starting a business, I always share it. And I'm like, oh, congratulations, another person in business. This is amazing. But I think we can forget to kind of support people who are in that position. You know, it's super important because I know anybody that ever messages me, and even to this day, 8 years later, and says, you know, well done or whatever, I'm like, oh, thank God, like there's a difference somewhere, do you know? But it can make a massive difference. So the support of like the community, I think that was a big thing for me at the start to have, even to go to BNI, I was like 4 days in business, but to have that support of like there was 50 odd people there at that stage to say, do it this way, don't do it this way. I've done it for 20 years the wrong way. Don't do it that way. Do you know that, you know, I learned from other people, I suppose. That's
well, even the
kind
whole
of,
BNI thing, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, dedication. You know, it takes dedication. You don't see that side of the business. You don't see the late nights, the weekends. You
yeah,
know, I'd say, you know, everybody sees this business owner. Oh, it's easy for them. They're loaded. They're, you know, they have the house, they have the cars. We don't see all the late nights. It's the amount of hours you put into your business. Like even there nights, like I see myself on the laptop on a Sunday evening or Saturday night, like at the house, and you could spend a few hours doing stuff. Like nobody sees that end of it.
yeah,
You know, when you're an employee, you go home at 5 o'clock and you don't worry about nothing the Monday morning.
yeah.
So it isn't that. I think nobody until you're a business owner, you don't realize that. There's no easy way around it.
Yeah, and I suppose it's just liking what you're doing as well, because if you hated every minute of it, you know, that would make it even harder to do it on the Sunday. But if you're enjoying it, that makes it a wee bit easier. You know, there'll be a
Well,
reward at the end.
well, that's what I see. A lot of businesses, maybe second or third generation businesses, and there's people in them running them now because they've got left businesses, and they're not
Hmm.
happy. And they'll even tell you that themselves, some of them, because it's what their mother and father wanted to do, not what they wanted to do. So I'm
Yeah,
lucky enough. Like I could have probably been sitting in a jeweler shop that I wanted to be, but that wasn't for me. That's not what I wanted to do. So we're done this, and we're happy enough. We're here.
yeah,
We're here so far, and I got on an
love it.
average. I'm happy enough for the way it's going.
So like that's your years past. For the next like 3 to 5 years, where do you like see the business growing and moving
Uh,
into?
More online. We're gonna the online trade's growing every month. So we're going to target it more. It's something that was always there on the side, but we're kind of going to focus more on it now with a couple of new web businesses, some of them not related to signs at all, starting in probably the next 12 months or so. So online, it's a good business model. You sell a thing, you're paid up front, you can ship it out. It's systemized, it's very systematic. It's easy for staff to follow. Like a lot of the jobs we do, the signage work and stuff, it's one-off jobs, bespoke work. It takes a lot of focus from the staff and communication, whereas a lot of online stuff's a simpler process. So
Yeah.
we'll be growing. It's the easiest way to grow the market's online. We can base it all out of here, Donegal. We don't need to leave the area. Like we did look at expanding, but then it's getting. I don't mean like I looked at places in Sligo and looked at Dublin, but I spend 3 days a week in Dublin. I have a young family. At the height of 1 year, I got offered a job from the UK company as a project manager. A very good package I was offered, but it meant I was going to be away probably 5-6 nights a week. So it wasn't a lifestyle I wanted. Just that particular. If you had got that offer when you're young, free, and single, it would have been a great offer. But it just came at the wrong time. That was the year I got married, and we're expecting kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not all about the money either. You need to be happy in what you're doing. Money doesn't drive everything. It's a help now, remind you, but it doesn't. It's not the be all and end all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, the things that make you happy, money allows you to be with them, like your
Yeah.
family and all that kind of stuff, and, spend time with them. And I think what I'm trying to do, what my plan would be just to build the business so you can have a business that allows you to have time to do everything else and spend time with your family and spend time with whoever and
Yeah.
but
Well, been
it does,
self-employed. Like been self-employed as benefits. Like my most important meeting, sorry, I'm of a day was a Zoom call this morning for Clodagh for
excuse me.
school.
Oh, okay, no, that's
You're
okay.
second,
That's
and
okay
that
then.
was most
That's
important
okay.
on the day. So it's great. Being a business owner, you've got a flexibility in your day that you can accommodate that. So
Yeah.
that's something. And like I would have been close to Granny and Granda, and would have looked about them and all in their later years as well. And like, you had that bit of flexibility. I suppose that's one of the reasons I did start my own business. It gives you a bit of flexibility as well. You
Yeah,
do the long hours, but you can go if you need to go, or you can call it away. You can be a bit flexible on it.
definitely.
But looking ahead now, online seems to be the path of growth.
Yeah.
The next couple of years.
I think like as well, like we're lucky and I know I'm biased, but being in Donegal and being able to work from here when we can actually travel as well, that we can actually just go to the beach for, it's half an hour away or whatever. Like I was on a Zoom call today to a guy who lives in Dublin, works in Dublin, but from Donegal.
Yeah.
And he's seen my background. He was like, oh my God, I miss home so much, And I'm so lucky. And, that's why I encourage people to build online businesses because you can literally work from
Yeah.
anywhere. It just makes freedom so much easier.
Suppose the whole lockdown, we appreciate it more now. We'll have on our doorstep the Wild Atlantic Way and all the beaches and all the different stuff we'll have.
Definitely.
And, you don't appreciate it. You go away till you spend some time in Dublin and spend some time away. Like we do a lot of work in the UK. Like it sounds great being away in Dublin and Belfast in the UK doing jobs, but you're just going from hotel to hotel from bag.
Yeah.
It's not that's grand for an occasion, but I don't know would it be something you do long term. It wouldn't be good for you long term, living from hotel to hotel.
Definitely. And like I'm even doing a talk tomorrow night in Edinburgh, but I'm obviously doing it from here. But I would have flew to Edinburgh, and I would have done that whole trip. Whereas it's like I can literally just be here. And I think I was saying to you last day about, LYT. I was doing a talk down there, at least I didn't have to go find parking and like go in,
Yeah.
So there is I miss traveling a little, but there's definitely a good happy medium that I think is coming from this situation.
Yeah, well, that's it too. Yeah, there is. So there is. It's a great lifestyle. I think everybody's pushed towards Dublin this last couple of years. Everything was happening in Dublin, be it education, work, all the jobs, all that. But sure, Dublin's boiling over now, house prices and stuff. Sure, when you see some of the prices for some of the stuff, and you're just and a lot of the jobs pay the same. Like the higher end jobs, yes, in Dublin, but a lot of the normal run of the mill jobs, it's the same wages. It doesn't matter if you're in Donegal, Cork, or Dublin. It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same rate. So you're well off having a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it is. So that was.
I've worked with mortgage brokers in Dublin, and I'm like, you could have 3 houses in Donegal for that, just so you know, like
And
rent them out.
three good houses,
Yeah,
three houses with gardens and every parking and
yeah,
everything. Like,
yeah.
I have a sister in London or over in England there, and she's parking. Like, yeah, it's a privilege to get a parking space. I couldn't live in a place where I couldn't get parked outside the
I
door. I'm
know,
sorry,
I know.
but
But okay, so online. So what would you say? Well, we're nearly finished now, but what would you say is the best piece of advice that you've got over the years that you really kind of live by?
Gee, there's a good one. I'm trying to think of some big inspirational story to tell you now, but it's not. Um, suppose people come and go, customers and staff and stuff. I suppose always to be nice because you don't know when you're going to meet them again. Like I have staff that left and have come back, and I have customers that left and come back, and suppose you always leave your door open. In life in general, you're easy enough approachable.
Yeah,
At times you'd love to tell people to go and you mightn't just be happy with them, but you never know when you're going to meet them again or in what way you're going to meet them. So I suppose that's one thing. Don't never close the door shut on anybody, so you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on with people in their lives either, too.
yeah,
We've seen that now with COVID. Some people there, like some of the customers, orders been delayed and stuff. They're getting cranky when you actually speak to them. They're not cranky with you at all. They're cranky with they're just cranky with the lockdown. And you don't know what's going on. So just as I say, I never follow it. That's when I never follow it with anybody. People might huffle with me, but I never follow it with anybody. The door's always open to come back again. And
yeah,
that's happened over the last 10 years. That's happened in a whole pile of different fronts, be it customers or staff or just people in general.
yeah. Very good.
That's
Okay, so before we finish up, I think we're like way over 30 minutes because I don't even know what time we started, but anyway, it'll be grand. I'm just going to ask you one weird question and then one more question. So, what is the last gift you gave to someone?
Oh, that's easy. I had roses last week.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Well, at least you did. That's good.
That was an easy one there.
Yeah, did you get it for the girls as well, or
I got
just?
one each for the girls too.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So before we just finish up, is there anything like you want to tell us about, or any promotions you're running, or anything you're doing in particular that you'd like to tell everyone?
No, I just follow us on social media and CBM. Just joined TikTok there at the weekend. That was
Did you?
most exciting. I don't know what I got myself into, but we're playing a bit with that at the minute. But just follow us. I said we're new website coming now, probably be in the next 6 months or so. It's quite a large project. We're investing a good bit in it, and taking on some extra staff for it and all as well. So it's going to be a big project. So that's just keep an eye out, and you'll see a lot of more stuff online from us.
Great. So what I'm going to do is just after this is just tag CBM Signs so you guys can go on and follow and check out what they're doing. It's Signs for everything. So, and when he starts printing cash too, you'll be the first to know. It's all good.
I'll send you the link, Emma.
Yeah, thanks, Bernard. Well, Bernard, thanks so much for coming on, and well, it'll be online and all that stuff, so anybody can watch back after. But thank you, and have a great. What are we on? Wednesday? Happy Wednesday.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do. Cheers,
All
Emma.
right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.